It has happened. Bitcoin has hit $80,000. Now, at the time of this recording, it may have pulled back just slightly under 80,000, but it is topped 80,000. I think personally it got up to 81. I need to double check while we're on here, but 80,000, absolutely amazing. Following the election, following the 6 months from the Bitcoin halving back in April and May, right on point. Every 4 years, this is happening. And this is just the start. So in this particular video, all I want to do is go over where Bitcoin may head next from the technical analysis standpoint, how you could potentially get in if you do your own due diligence and you want to participate in this crypto run if you're not already positioned. And for those that are already positioned, right, should you trim profits or should you just hold for gold? Hey, it may not stop. This may be that boom, especially since we have more information available to us. There's more use cases, and there are big companies, big institutions buying up more and more Bitcoin. All that being said, I want to jump into today's video and get you out of here as expeditiously as possible. All right. If you don't know who I am, my name is Dr. B. I'm a holistic life and business coach and strategist for entrepreneurs and thought leaders. I'm a former pharmacist, undergrad in chemistry, matriculated my way for 8 years now in full-time entrepreneurship, primarily in the coaching and consulting space. So if you get that teacher, professor vibe from me, hey, hopefully you enjoy it. I try to be as quick, efficient as possible, but not leave out any information and make sure I'm communicating as best as possible to the masses. All right. What you can do for me, if you enjoyed this video, if you've been here before, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I've appreciated the support as of late. All of you, from the educational videos to the market updates, even for those that have gone and listened to my podcast and joined other social platforms, I appreciate you so much. Please share this video out or any video that you think is valuable to anyone that you think would benefit from it. That being said, let's jump into today's content. Here we go. All right, really quick. You gotta see where you can go next. All right. So really quick, this is sponsored by Leverage University. This is where my Discord and my community and my consulting and coaching practice is held, where you can see here all the information that we provide inside of here, not only just from the financial market space and the finance literacy side of things, but we also have my pride and joy, my passion is improving people's minds, lives, and then ultimately discovering your purpose. And if you decide to monetize that, that's absolutely beautiful. So you can see here that we have our trading floor, where obviously many of you are trying to learn and trying to understand the charts and the news and where things are going, right? We have our crypto section here where we've been talking about not only crypto news, but we've been giving updates, our Bitcoin and the charts and where it may be headed in that cup and handle formation and news updates just continuously right after the Bitcoin halving and really over the past year, just trying to educate community members on how this is possible. All right. So that being said, I think this will be a great place to start right here, right? Which would be this Bitcoin halving chart. Okay. So there may be somebody new here that's like, man, do I jump in? How did this happen? How did I miss it again? Right. Every 4 years there's a halving, just means a shortage of supply of mining of the Bitcoin. All right. So it becomes more in demand. You can see here in 2012, right, that first Bitcoin halving that we had where it just absolutely just took off, right? It just absolutely took off. Right, you're looking at Bitcoin here, if I'm reading this correctly, right around $12, $13, $14, $15, right? Just ridiculous, right? We got in, many of us knew about it in 08, 09, 2010, right? It was very much speculative, but if you were on it, multi-millionaires, billionaires at this point from this move right here. Now we've got 2016, we've got a second halving, right, that happened right here in roughly the end of Q2 or so right there. And then it moved roughly 6 months afterwards into November. And then the following year, 2017, just ran up to close to $1,200. Okay. Now we've got a third halving. Remember, every 4 years, election time, May 2020. Okay. Third halving, 6 months afterwards, runs from about 8 to 9,000. Many of us remember this run and runs to about 21,000. Okay. And then now, look at what has happened. You cannot make this stuff up, okay? This is like second time third time, fourth time, you just not believing in it, or we just missed the boat and you just got to start chasing. Okay. The fourth halving happens April 2024 this year. And we had this consolidation, which had Bitcoin sitting right around that 55 to 65, $10 move range back and forth, $10,000 move range back and forth. And then now we have broken new all-time highs into 80,000. Now, this is, take this for a grain of salt. Obviously, the scalping pro, right? Just taking this as a grain of salt as far as this chart is where it might go here. However, all that is looking at is this measured move from the previous runs, and you're measuring this move into the next leg move, which is taking it really realistically up to that $120,000 target. So we are still early to the game. So in my opinion, especially with this new administration in the realm, whether you like them or not, or whatever your feelings are, right? We have an administration and, participants in government now that, and business owners that are now implementing this into everyday life, right? And buying up more of it. Now, obviously do your own due diligence. I'm not coming here to say buy, hold, do anything. Recommend you selling all your savings and putting it all into here. You got to do your own due diligence. However, I'm just giving you facts about the sequences on the last four halvings. And now we're looking at this one that could be the biggest one of them all over the next couple of years as assets move potentially not only in the stock market, but maybe move over into crypto a little bit more as the stock market has reached all-time highs, and there may be some profit taking and moving over into other assets. All right. So there is that. Didn't want to belabor that point too long, but I think this is a good visual here to see exactly what we're talking about, why this is, more so predicted, right? It's not just happenstance. Okay. So let's go here into our, okay, just a couple of things. Michael Saylor buying more Bitcoin. Okay. Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy business intelligence company, just buying more, one of the top holders, if not the top holder, I'll go over to in a second, of Bitcoin. And he keeps just buying more and buying more and buying more. All right. You can see here this crypto market cap from Coin Stats. We now have Bitcoin that just slightly back underneath 80,000, but over the past 7 days, percentage wise, past week, and it's even more than this at this point, you have 15 to 20%, Ethereum 28%, Solana, which I love personally, 26%. Okay. And then you have XRP that many people are familiar with. If you're not, to go do your own due diligence and look it up. If you'd like me to make videos on some of these, I will, but this is just an overview of where these things are going next. Cardano, 76%. Gosh almighty. I mean, just think about the amount of money, just not trading options, not doing anything. Just think about the amount of money that is made just in general from just having $100, right? And you make 15% on $100, that's $15, or you make 76 to 80% on your money. That's $100 overnight, right? Within a week span. And all you had to do was, be aware essentially. But Shiba, like these, I know the Shibas and the Doge coins, like 80%, right? I know these are meme coins and whatnot, but they move more dramatically with the market, and you could take advantage of it and move it into potentially your long-term portfolio and buying SPY and VOO and VTI and things of that nature. This is just a tool. We're not saying, or anyone saying, for those that are skeptical or those that are believers, whatever it is, that you have to hold and think of these as long-term investments. Some people do, some people don't, right? But to not see that this is a possibility to generate 27%, 60%. I mean, these numbers are ridiculous as far as some of our savings accounts that are generating 3, 4, 5% on our money. And we're able to utilize responsibly and risk management wise and utilize this sector as a potential opportunity to generate more income or grow your assets. All right. So Coin Stats, there's a cryptocurrency right there. Let's go over to companies that own, okay? Companies that own, I want to put it here. MicroStrategy, one of the top owners here. I'll go over to more of a chart in just a second. Tesla, they said they were not selling any shares. Obviously, Elon, whatever you feel, genius at this point, attaching himself to the political party that he wanted to win, that he thought that would be the best for, the country and his company and crypto in general, okay? You have Coinbase, Riot. We have Square, makes sense. Cash App, right? You can buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies on Cash App, right? You have Binance, CleanSpark, Mara, and there's many other companies that are available there. MicroStrategy, okay, announces a plan, a $42 billion plan. This is Michael Saylor's company, okay? $42 billion plan to come out and say, hey, we're going to keep buying, right? We're going to keep moving and buying more and buying more and buying more, okay, over the next 3 years, okay? So I know before it may have seemed a little bit more speculative because there wasn't maybe a lot of information. I got to get this off of here. What? These ads. A little bit more speculative because people just didn't understand. Right. But now it's more understanding that this is a possibility that it could really be used in real life. It could also be utilized just for an investment tool to generate income. It could be traded back and forth very quickly. Maybe you get in and out for just a little momentum move for 50, 60, 70% on your money and you hold a little bit. Right. You can go in and out. Okay. So this is a 3-year plan here. Now, top Bitcoin holdings, you see Brian Armstrong of Coinbase, makes sense. Michael Saylor, okay, and take this for a grain of salt. These may not be updated at the time of this recording, okay? So take this with a grain of salt. This is in 2024. This is an article here. Where is it in 2024? Does it give the actual day? I was trying to give the exact day. So take this with a grain of salt, but this is primarily updated as far as most of them owning this amount or being the top holders. Now, this may change, obviously. Binance CEO, Tim Draper. Here's the holdings here that this makes sense right here. MicroStrategy, Mara, Galaxy, Tesla, Coinbase, Riot, Square or Block, CleanSpark. All right, so please pay attention to not only the companies that are holding Bitcoin, so maybe you don't want to participate in the actual owning of cryptocurrency, you just don't believe in it. Like I said before, whatever it is, I'm not here to sway one way or the other. I'm just here to say that everyone can and should participate in these tools and asset classes at periods of times, or at least be well-versed in understanding it. So you can say, yeah, I know, but I don't want to participate. That's cool, right? So I want you to pay very close attention to this one right here, which is what we've been talking about inside of our Discord is CleanSpark, okay? We've been positioned into some long-term leap options in shares in CleanSpark. We have community members that have been in since $5 when we announced it, and we have a lot of educators and folks inside of our Discord, inside of Leverage University, that are constantly pouring out into our community. So I appreciate all of our community members. It's not just me, okay? So CleanSpark, very interesting lately. It had a trading halt on it and wanted to read into it because anytime you see a halt on a company, meaning like you can't trade it, it's on halt, you're in position, but it's not really moving, right? What is going on? So please read this from CleanSpark's website talking about warrants originally entered by Grid Infrastructure and converted warrants in connection with the company's acquisition of Grid on October 30th, 2024. In a merger agreement, the warrants were adjusted to reflect the merger exchange. So all in all, they are associating this announcement with saying, hey, we're just going through some mergers, some acquisitions, moving around. Nothing's wrong with the company. We're doing fine. We will release the halt off of it after there was a little bit of a conversion error, clerical error. So, hey, nothing to worry about right now. So again, just bring this to your attention. If you're like, that seems a little sketchy if they're halting it, right? I understand that. So just wanted to bring this up from CleanSpark, okay? Now let's go into the charts, okay? Let's go into the charts where the money is made and how this could have been predicted even if you didn't, believe in it, okay? Even if there was a little bit of hesitancy and whatnot. Okay, I'm going to take all these moving averages here. I'm going to just show you the pattern formation that was coming in on Bitcoin more specifically, and some others. Ethereum, in my opinion, was lagging behind, which created an even bigger opportunity in Solana as well, just because they weren't all the way up at all-time highs yet again. Okay, so Bitcoin was forming what we call a cup and handle formation. Okay, a cup and a handle looks like this. Okay, cup and handle pattern. Okay, so there are specific patterns in trading and in the charts that you can look for that allows you to, and savvy investors to predict where that stock may be going or when the breakout might be happening. Okay, so I want you to look at this upper resistance line here in this cupping formation, a handle or a bull flag, and then it breaks out of that flag formation right there, breaks out of that downtrend, and it starts to pick up momentum. This was almost identical to a cup and handle formation on Bitcoin. All right. So you see this downtrend. All this was a consolidation, right? Picking up more Bitcoin every dip that pulled back, even into this 50. Now, a lot of us thought that potentially Bitcoin could pull back even further into a $40,000 to $45,000 level, but it was just too strong. All right. So the lowest it gave us was about 49 to 50, which at this point you're looking at it. It's like, shoot, this thing will double. Like, I'm going to double my money if I bought it at 50 and it goes to 100. Right. So you just got to think about it in those terms. Even if this was $50 and it goes to $100, I think the amount of money that it is kind of like freaks folks out. You can buy fractional shares, right? You do not have to think about this big, overwhelming, arching. And at the time of I'm recording, is back over 80,000. That's absolutely amazing. All right. So you see here that cup and handle formed, and it started to break out right here. And anytime you get a breakout of a consolidation, right? Consolidation, all this is where Michael Saylor, this is where a lot of retail investors, we were talking about it. Okay, pick up some Bitcoin, just keep averaging in, picking up, hold. And then it starts breaking out with this volume candle on a weekly, which was about the second or third week of October. And it breaks back over 65,000. And you see that it turns 65,000 into a support. Okay, it's very minor here. I want you to watch it right here. Okay, once you look at this purple candle, you see this big break, and then it turns this into a support zone. Okay, it went up, it came down, it did not come back below 65,000, and then it started holding 65, above 65,000, 66,000, and it was just consolidating above here to finally get this momentum breakout right back above 73,000, and that's where essentially that big breakout happened. Right, break of new all-time highs above 73,000, got above 73, moved immediately into 80 and 81. All right, so now what are the next levels? Okay, from a technical basis, what typically happens, right, is now we're in a momentum move. Okay, we're in a monthly candle. This is a monthly candle, and this monthly candle could move to this next level of 85,000. Okay, now I do expect some potential slight profit taking, just slight profit taking into the Thanksgiving holiday. Okay, and I'm not expecting it to tank all the way back down. That'd be great if we can get back in, right, with some more. But 85,000 would be your next target. And then if it blasts through 85,000, this next monthly candle, we can go into the end of the year and it could go to 100 very quickly. I mean, you see how quickly it went from 73 to 80,000 in a week. So it is not uncommon for this to move like that. Again, look at this cup and handle formation, very similar to this breakout. When that breakout happens, here's the candle that we're on. Okay. There's the next candle. It can typically do what we call as a measured move. So depending on how this candle breaks out, maybe I measure this move from the last breakout. Okay. So what that looks like is this last breakout right here above 49,000. Okay. this green line right here, I can measure this move from here to here. Now, some may measure the move a little bit different, but I'm measuring the breakout. And if I move this over to this next breakout, right, I'm measuring it from this about 65,000 roughly right here. Okay. That takes us up right into where? About 100,000. Okay. So that is what a measured move looks like. Breakout, next leg, breakout, and you're measuring this move from the last breakout to this move. Now it's not spot on, but you can get an idea how this is very much possible for a next candle to open up and move like that. All right. So look out for 85. And if any type of pullback, I'm talking about a couple percent pullback, it's not going to be massive. We're on a momentum run right now, right? Get in where you fit in. You're more than welcome, to chase some slightly here or there, right? But I think personally that we're going to 100,000, and you saw that previous chart. I'll go back to it on our Discord here. That is a possibility for this to run and break out and go above into 2025 into 125,000 plus. All right. So look out for any pullbacks to get yourself in. The final thing that I will say, and we will get up out of here. If you are not interested in Bitcoin, okay. If you're not interested in Bitcoin, there are many others, but Bitcoin is the gold standard essentially. Okay. There's Ethereum. You can see Ethereum's chart here. I do love Solana as well. Okay. You see Solana's approaching all-time highs. I think Solana will personally get to 500 plus. That's just my opinion. But you do have some others that you can participate in that you do not have to. If I go to my crypto, there's some ETFs, right, that you can participate in just in your long-term brokerages. If you want, if you don't like to buy crypto on these exchanges and whatnot, okay, you can go to and get some of these ETFs like a BITO. Okay. So BITO here, you see it's moving in the same cup and handle formation as Bitcoin, right? So how much is that? It's only $20, right? So obviously it's not going to give you that massive move necessarily, but you could potentially get 100 shares of this. And if this goes to $50, $60, whatever it might be, and it doubles even 40. Okay. So at the lows, it was $7 and went to 20, right? So you're talking about 2x, 2.5x your money. So this is an opportunity for you as well as looking at the ETFs of Bitcoin. IBIT. Okay. You see here, IBIT when it came out, $23. And then it broke out of this there's that flag again right there. And it broke out. What is it doing? Making that measured move out of this level up to about $55 to $60 plus, okay, in the short term. Obviously, CleanSpark, I still personally love CleanSpark here. We've got shares in it, okay? Here's some of our community members, right? Maybe I'll leave that out. There may be some people that don't want their name shared, so I'll just leave that out. But our community members, we've had shares in CleanSpark since $5, $6, $7, underneath 10. Is sitting right now at about 13. It was headed right to 15. So personally, when a halt releases, it opens up personally where maybe there'd be some selling just because people are a little bit like, I just want to get out, but that may create an opportunity to bring it back down and ride it back up. So this chart looks absolutely amazing. We've got levels back up to 25 and ultimately back up to $40 and $50 plus. Okay, so keep your eye on CleanSpark. I just showed you that earlier where they are holding a hefty amount of Bitcoin as well. Okay, some of the mining companies as well. Mara, always opportunity there. Riot, opportunity there. Coinbase for sure. So yeah, just a bunch of opportunities to participate in the best way that you would like to, based on your risk tolerance, based on your comfortability and your information, education, all those good things. All right. That being said, I will leave you all be. Have a happy Veterans Day. It's my birthday coming up this next Tuesday at the time of this recording. So I'm so appreciative of y'all listening to myself. If you're new here, welcome. And I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.